We're talking about cheating in relationships, whether it's the man who's cheating or the woman who's cheating. Is it ever right or okay to cheat? And to help with this discussion, I've got with me the lovely Auntie Gloria Jeha. And A+, should have an interesting twist to this. And I've got the lovely Bernice Enchi as well. We're going to delve into this discussion and see, is it ever okay to cheat, whether you're a man or woman? Some people say it's a male society or it's a man's world, so it's okay for men to cheat, or it's acceptable actually the world over. Actually, it's men kind of get a free pass when it comes to cheating, but when women do it, I mean, it becomes a different story altogether. Is it right? This is what we're going to be talking about today, and luckily we're going to have a male angle to it, so it should be very interesting. Bernice, what do you think about it?
I just when you were talking, I was discussing with Auntie Gloria back there, and just when she came in, and the first thing that came to her thoughts, or what she mentioned to me, was this thing that she just mentioned about men being, having the normality. Yes. It's like it's a normal thing for a man to cheat, because men are allowed to marry more than one woman, so that it's not the woman's right in society to choose how many men she wants to, legally, I should say, or normally, because and then when we come to the
Bernice, you know what, just hold that thought for 1 minute. We've got a video. Let's go have a look at that video, and we'll come back to you in a bit.
Cheating for both men and women are not good. Yeah, in today's times, I don't think it's good for any of the sex partner to cheat each other.
But it's not okay for a woman to cheat in a relationship,
because sometimes you give in all you gotta give in, but at the end of the day they cheat on you. So I don't know. I think you should find out really about the women, what they want from man.
If you don't want the person, the best thing for you to do is just quit the person. It's betrayal, and I don't cheat.
She's made to what? To marry only one husband, not to be jumping up to two different men, or be in a relationship at the same time changing men and men. If you do that, you lose your respect as a woman.
Our Lord Jesus Christ came to tell us that there should be one man and one woman. So I believe we have to keep to that tradition now. Cheating is not a good thing.
I think it becomes more or less a crime in Africa because of our culture, right? Happens like a man can marry 2, 3, formally and all that, like in the ordinary marriage. But for women, they are not accepted to, marry to or something. So
I wouldn't advise any woman to cheat in a relationship, because it's not really good. It's not good to cheat in a relationship. In a relationship, both of them, the man, the guy and the girl, they ought to be faithful to each other. Okay, for the guys, it's normal for them to cheat because it's their nature. But for the ladies, I think that even though your guy is cheating, you ought to be strong for yourself, especially if you really love the guy.
Wow, very interesting video there. Now, Bernice, before we went to the video, you were talking about how, because men are allowed to marry more than one wife, we kind of perceive it to be okay when they cheat. Okay, please justify that.
That not being exactly the case, it's not leading us to say that it's okay for a man to cheat. But I was just, stabilizing the fact that this is what happens in our society.
That's the reality.
It's allowed. But the word itself actually says cheat. Cheat is like, it's a bad word. It's like steal.
Okay.
It's if it were good, it will come. We will put it in open. Okay. If I wanted to date A+, not saying
it's possible.
But if I wanted to date A+, then I wanted to cheat on A+. I'll make sure and do everything that I could to make sure that he doesn't know what I'm doing. That means that it is bad. Exactly. Right. That means that it's not a good thing to do. So right from the start, the word itself says that it's not good, and it robs you of your conscience. That's what I know. Okay, that's what I know of. It robs you of your conscience, that you don't even, it gets to a point you don't even think of what you're doing anymore, because you've passed the stage where you felt so bad about it. For most people, I don't know about others who don't feel anything when they do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
A+, is it a man's world? Is it okay? Do you think you should get a pass just because you're a man? You should be able to, do whatever you want.
If you ask me about a man's world or a woman's world, what I would say is that all human beings are created equal. And so it's nobody's world. The only problem that men have, and the reason why we are discussing cheating today, is because of Adam. You see, Did Adam ever cheat? No, he made a sad mistake by telling God he wants a helper. That preposition was wrong. Because at those days, Adam was Daraba. God was giving him anything that he asked for. Right. So if he had said, I want wives, God would have given him so many.
So from then on, it would have been
normal.
It would have been normal.
But immediately he said he wants one. God gave him one. And so it became the norm that you would have to have one. Okay. However, if you want to have more than one, it depends on the setting that you're in. It depends on your society. It depends on if you want to. It depends on your religious beliefs. Then you can have more than one, and then it doesn't become cheating. My grandfather married 18 wives. Wow. And none of them complained of him cheating. So I think that cheating itself, yes, according to what these 21st century ladies
I think when it comes to the marriage, let's look at it from the marriage under the ordinance perspective, where it's not traditional marriage where you can.
That's why I use the word however. Okay. If you want to cheat with this woman, and this is my wife, I want to cheat with this woman, all I have to do is I have to marry her, so it doesn't become cheating anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Is it okay when a woman cheats?
That tells us from where A+ is ending off, tells us that cheating is evil. Cheating is
evil.
Wrong. Yes. Cheating
That's very
is
strong,
just disrespectful. If you cheat, you have disrespected the one you cheated on. It's unacceptable whether you are a male or you are a female. It shouldn't be endorsed. Society should frown on cheating. Cheating is bad. It's just evil.
And what about when you are not caught?
When you are not caught, you are left with a lot of conscience. And when you are not caught, it tells me a lot. But I think as we are...
The only time it becomes cheating is when you are caught.
But who do you think cheats more?
It depends on how you play your game.
The male or the female? Who cheats
more? The females.
Seriously, I don't want to believe that it's females who cheat more.
Why not?
A lot of studies have shown, depending on where the studies were conducted, it shows varied. If you look at the ethnographic, whatever happens, you will see the fact that a lot more men are into polygyny in terms of marrying more women, whilst in terms of married women marrying men is rather few. If you look at the statistics, it shows that more women are marrying. Fewer women are marrying more men than men marrying women. So I believe that we also know that in some societies it's endorsed. If you look at Tibet, for example, China, for example, India, for example, they actually endorse women marrying more men for varied reasons. So it's in different settings. We can't just conclude and say that in a particular setting or culture, it's just fine now that women cheat on men more or men cheat on women more, depending on the kind of society, the culture, because some people's religious background allows them to marry more.
Sandra,
so if you are marrying,
let me just chip this in. I like it when I'm in such discussion with people who are intelligent as this lady. She said, depending on who conducted the survey, and then depending on the region. If all the women in China are cheating, you know how many women are in China? The women in India and the women in China, when they cheat, women cheat more than men. That's India and China only.
That's a good. Ben, do you think men cheat more than women?
Before that, I think we were sort of mixing marrying more than one with having a legal wife and then having an affair on the side.
Oh no, that was just an example.
You see, I think they are two very different things. And coming back to who cheats more, I wouldn't really be able to say men or women. Men do it, women do it. I think it's all about who it is.
So now, what are the reasons why people cheat? A+. Why do men cheat?
It's the women. Even if a man has to cheat, it's the women that cause him to cheat.
Oh, you didn't go there. You didn't just go there.
I thought you were asking me my opinion.
Yes, it is your opinion, but I don't quite like your answer.
Oh.
She's entitled to his opinion.
You think women cause men to cheat?
You see, this one can't be an Atuguba.
No, I definitely can't. Not when it comes to these things.
Yeah, I think that men have always been good. I am a man. In fact, a traditional man, irrespective of my shades and my hat. I'm a man. And I think that men have done very well. If men cheat, it's because women cause them to cheat. You see, sometimes you see a woman out there with a husband and you think that she does everything. You don't know what happens in the house. In fact, in the inner part of the house. And every day I keep saying, I am fortunate to be married before. Have you been married before?
No.
Yeah, I think that you're at the wrong place. So, in most cases, I use myself as an example. And I think that most men, 99% of the men that I have met, have a particular problem. And that is what cause them to cheat.
What is that problem? We'd like to know so we can rectify.
You see, if you women, 21st century women, Muhajri, you see, if your husband goes out, you call him, you didn't get him, he didn't pick, or something. What comes into your head first is he's with another woman. That's why he's not.
Not necessarily. You're worried.
I'm telling you how I feel.
Okay.
And so, when he comes home, it's a whole big issue.
Why didn't you answer your phone?
Why didn't you answer your phone? And it was because, and so you see, gradually you push this man out of the house because he doesn't enjoy his own house. You make it seem as anytime he's out there,
he's doing something.
You don't have that trust for the man that you are with. And so what happens in the house is what makes the man enjoy his home or wants to stay out with the boys. And pressure, it happens.
Auntie Clara, did you agree with this?
Yes,
is it the women that are causing the men to stray? Are we giving them too much pressure at home?
I would want to say that a lot of men have reasons for why they cheat, but basically, looking at it generically, it's like when a man is not satisfied, the basic thing is maybe they are not getting enough sex at home, and that's what makes
Is it just sex?
That's what studies have shown.
It's not about getting enough or
sex,
not.
or they are not getting what they really expect in a relationship.
The skill.
In a relationship at home, and therefore they want to get that one outside. So varied reasons makes men to cheat. Women also, they are emotional. So if they are not getting that kind of emotional satisfaction, what they want, that compliment that makes them feel self-esteem, lovable and all that, they are not getting it. Maybe they want to look at it outside. Look for it outside. And that is what it looks like. Sometimes somebody will be cheating but would not even know that he's cheating.
So you think that women contribute to it sometimes?
I wouldn't say no. But I wouldn't also say that women should take full blame for men cheating, because I think that some men are just promiscuous.
Okay. Bernice, now we've been looking at this from the married perspective for a while now. What if you're not married? It's just a relationship.
That's the point.
There's no commitment. Then do you still say that it's because your girlfriend is giving you too much pressure? You don't live together. So what is the reason then? How can they justify it?
Like I said before, I don't see any justification at all with cheating. Whenever there's an issue that needs to be sorted, it's either you face it or you get out of it. You see? It's either you confront it or you go.
Why'd you go out to look for it?
Yeah,
just a fleeting while and then come back.
And it's such a difficult thing to do. Okay, when I was in the university, I tried it once and it didn't work for me because my boyfriend didn't show up on my birthday, and a friend of mine who I know liked me, used to come, and he showed up on my birthday.
You wanted to do your thing already.
No, and he took me out and everything. It didn't start to click then. But later on, he would keep coming. He would take me out. He would listen to me, and then I was like, okay, this is what is happening now. I have this situation and that situation, but I didn't think that I should, keep both of them. So I spoke to my boyfriend. I'm like, this is what is happening, and there is this guy who's doing this and this for me.
Wow.
Okay, so are you sitting up or should I
go?
Bounce? Exactly. I think you just take.
That was a bold step.
I had to take the decision.
So what happened? We are very interested.
And
did he sit up?
Oh yes, he did, and it was great. And this guy didn't talk to me again, but I mean, hey,
you're fortunate. If I was dating you, I would leave you that same day.
Why would you leave
conditions?
Me? No, why would you leave me? Because I
am a man.
Sometimes you need to prompt people to sit up.
You see, what happened between you and that guy before he left? Before your guy sat up.
Oh, if I had wanted to do something.
You're not answering my question. That's
getting hot in here.
Dr. Baumia, you're not answering my question.
What happened is what made me want to go and sit my boyfriend
What
up.
happened before he sat up?
If the guy didn't
take me out, listen to me, call me, check on me, that is what happened.
So he realized that there was
something. And then when I realized that exactly
you were expecting of him and he wasn't,
giving.
And so he sat up.
Sandra, there's one thing she kept saying, the on. Checked on you.
I think whatever it is that you're trying to hear is not going to
come out. Okay, now Auntie Clara, you are a relationship expert, you're a counselor. Have you had any stories or any experiences with women, telling you how they've cheated and things like that?
Several. It's just basically what I hear most of the time when I get to know somebody's doing that, or I get into contact with somebody, what I ask is why made you to do that. So basically, one, I notice that people do that a lot out of peer pressure. Maybe they are always around people who are into that, and they don't get to people to really got that. So once you are not getting, and you are people, you are always amongst people who are also helping that cause, then it's and then some people just have little self-esteem.
So you're a counselor, so you're supposed to be neutral, but do you sometimes see yourself maybe judging these women?
I don't want to judge anybody for
whatever
because I think that whatever the case is, something triggered that. It could be from the person himself, because like I say, there are some women who naturally are attractive and they can't just say no. Like they get a lot of men just come rushing on them, but they don't have that power to resist and say that no, I'm already tied up in here and therefore I cannot give in. So for one reason they just give in. So I think that I won't just blame them. We'll just look at what the root causes, what really the issues are. Sometimes just a little talking up, a little pepping up, and it's a wake up call to the opposite spouse that is being cheated on.
To sit up,
yes.
So now let's talk about when you do realize, or when you find out that your partner is cheating. What do you do?
If it's a woman, you have to leave her.
No, if
just like that.
No, I think that if you find out that your spouse is cheating on you, you just have to remain. You don't have to be paranoid. You don't have to too suspicious. Other than that,
do you confront them?
You confront them, but not immediate.
How do you be suspicious after?
Yes, you see, the issue is that. The issue is that you are suspicious because maybe you've not actually caught them red-handed.
There's evidence, you've caught them.
Yes, if there's evidence, then
where do you go from there?
You have to just take it easy. Not only women, both men, opposite sex, if they cheat on each other, just try pepping them up, asking them questions. Do you feel good already? Because the person, evil is evil. Once you've done evil, even when somebody is asking you a question in a very from a sweetheart, you even see it as you being condemned or judged. So immediately just try talking to the person, just find out and talk the person out, find out what really the issue is and what is making the person do that. I don't think that it's not a time for you to just close up on the person. Because seriously, if you just close up on the person and you jump to the next person, you don't know what else will happen in the next relationship.
So are you saying that when a partner cheats, you should remain with them, you should stay with them?
Stay with them, just as a team.
The man or the woman?
Whoever.
No matter the reason or the cause for the cheating, you stay with them.
Yes, you can stay with them. You can give them you can give them room to let them.
Why? I don't think it's that easy.
Listen, yes, but God wants us to do that which is not easy.
No, God even said in the Bible that's the only time
the reason why they cheated, and how remorseful they are. It depends, doesn't it?
That's what I'm saying. So you give them time to really express themselves, to really get to know whether the people are very remorseful or not. Because you don't just give up on if you really love somebody. After all, the Bible says that God commended His love towards us, that while we were yet sinners, He died for us. He asked His Son to die for us. So God loves us unconditionally. If you really love somebody, it should be unconditional. Even if the person cheats on you, don't go for scripture and say that because you've cheated on me, let's say bad. But then you really don't love. If you really do love, you give people time to let them.
Would you leave a partner if they cheated on you?
Yes, I think that every man must do the same. If you're
the very first time, or does it have to be continuous?
How many times? Unless you tell me how many times a woman must cheat before a man can leave.
So you're saying the minute you find out?
Yes, I think that once you find out that your partner is cheating on you, you must leave her.
I'm
not talking about the women. The women, if you find out that, you see the word, the name that you people have given it is.
So you're saying it's okay for a man to leave their partner when they cheat, but the woman should stay with the guy.
You see, the name that you guys have given it is the problem. Cheating and Auntie says it's evil. You see.
Okay, please let's just hold on right then. We are going to be taking some phone calls. It's getting very interesting here. So we would like to take some phone calls, and the numbers are up on the screen now. Call in and tell us, have you cheated on a partner before? Did you stay? I mean, just tell us your experiences with cheating. Please go on. So you're saying when the man cheats, the woman shouldn't leave, but when the woman cheats,
I don't
the man
even like
leave.
The word cheat.
So what should we
are with your husband or boyfriend and something happens and you see it has something. Women have to learn to try and be easy. Yes,
something happens.
There are some jobs that you can't do alone. Sometimes you need help. But you see, with a woman, a man can do all.
You think so?
Yes.
Dennis, what do you think? Would you you already gave us.
I have no idea what he's talking about right now, because everything has a name. You said a man, a woman, something
happens.
No, we'll do that on the real talk.
Okay, we've got our very first caller. Let's go to the phone lines now. Good morning, Justice. Calling all the way from the Volta region, I believe.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you? Hello, Justice. Good morning.
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. So tell us your experiences with cheating.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to ask a political question so that if they answer me well. Is it must to marry on this earth?
You'd like to ask who a question?
Is it a must to marry on this earth?
Is it a must to marry on this earth?
Must everybody marry? That's the question he's asking.
That's your question?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how that relates to cheating, but can we help him? Can we
when you marry, that's when you start cheating. If you are not married.
Also, you mean people who are not married don't cheat?
No.
The word cheat itself is a problem.
Okay. So do we have an answer for Justice?
The issue is that it's not compulsory to marry. If you can, you are sure you have that kind of discipline to be able to stay without messing up.
Yeah, and use Paul as an example.
You can actually stay without marrying, but the issue is that
be in a relationship.
Or
just be on your own.
Then you don't have to be in that kind of relationship.
So you're just on your own. You
are just on your own. It's like just being in an island. You alone, no husband, no relationship. When I talk about relationship, it's quite big. No girlfriend with that kind of notion. You can leave.
Yeah,
but if you are in a relationship,
you can do
why do you have to keep somebody's daughter or somebody's son hanging in there in a relationship and not marrying the person? I don't think it's right.
I think Justice, to answer his question, yes, it's not compulsory for every man to marry. Yes. You can if you do pay as you go. No, you don't have no relationship. No, pay as you go. Pay as you go.
What like you're buying credit.
Okay, let's go to the line once more. Good morning, Ganu. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Ganu.
I'm going from
Wale, wow. Okay. How are you this morning?
I'm Ganu.
Okay, Ganu. Have you ever cheated or been cheated on?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Ganu, can you hear me? I think we lost him. Okay, Benis. What? Once you've been cheated on, what do you do when you've been cheated on?
Well, I will speak from what I did when I was cheated on. It happened to me.
What happened to
you? I had a dramatic relationship when I was in school.
When you say dramatic, what do you mean?
As in, it had colors and flavors,
ups and downs,
it was beautiful.
On and off.
You know, it was just beautiful. I always talk about it with a smile on my face because we learned and it was just dramatic. And when it happened to me, I didn't leave my boyfriend.
When he cheated on you?
No, I didn't.
Why didn't
I got angry, yes.
Why didn't you leave him? Did you think about leaving him?
I did think about leaving him, but we sat down. Like, it's interesting that Auntie Gloria mentioned it. We sat down and I asked him, why did you do it? Is it me? Did I cause you to do this? And It obviously wasn't me, and I mean he confessed.
He told you it wasn't you?
Yes, he told me. The lady was in the same hostel with him, and so she would come and want to watch TV in his room, and so it happened. And I understood it because he's a human, and when someone it had happened to me before his, so I could relate.
You had been cheated on?
No, I mean when I had the option of choosing, yes, it had happened to me, so I could.
You could relate.
Yes, I could relate to it. I could say, because probably he didn't have the discipline, because he's a man. It comes back to being a man. He's a man, so I said, okay, it's
but that's the thing. What do we mean when we say because he didn't have the discipline? It's like we're giving them a pass then. When you say he didn't have we're all human, aren't we? It's the same blood that flows through our veins.
It can happen to a woman, it can happen to a man. A man could.
But you have the discipline.
Yes,
you talked to your man and you gave him an option.
Yeah, but we all have our weak points, our weak bearings, don't we? I would say, and I knew him better, so I knew that well.
It was just a slip-up.
Exactly, exactly. So it doesn't really, we don't really say, a man doesn't have the discipline, but women do know. Both of us, each
How did you deal with it? How were you able to forgive and move past it?
It took a while. It did take a while, but I mean,
what did you have to do? Share with us.
Well, I had to talk. And luckily for me, I think my friends weren't that callous, so they didn't just have to. They didn't want to fix me with someone immediately. No, I would cry. I would do all that. Of course, I cried a lot. lot. But then,
did you when you first found out, what was your initial reaction? Did you call him and blast him? Or
shock.
Yeah.
Shock was the first thing, because when you are in a relationship, there is trust. You build trust, and then so when that happens, it's like you're betrayed. Your confidence has been swept on the floor.
Okay, before you tell us how you dealt with it, really got past it, let's go to the phone lines once again and speak to Nana calling from Adenta. Good morning, Nana. Hello.
Yeah,
good morning, Nana. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. I'm fine. I would like to do a little contribution.
Sure, please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead, Nana. We can hear you.
I think I've never cheated on my girl before. I used to cheat.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. I used to cheat, but I stopped. But I think girls count themselves with guys cheating. I think if a guy cheats, it's a normal thing. But if a lady cheats, right, they should be. If I find out my girlfriend is cheating right now, I'm going to leave my girlfriend right now.
Oh my God, typical guy. Okay, Nana, why were you cheating? You said
I love you, and it's only you. If my girlfriend should stop loving me and goes ahead to cheat on me, then she doesn't love me.
Okay, Nana, you said
that it's a normal thing for me to cheat.
Why is it normal for you to cheat?
What about my girl who thinks that she loves only one guy and doesn't cheat?
Okay, Nana, you said you used to cheat. Why were you cheating?
Yeah, I used to.
Why were you cheating? Didn't you love your girlfriend then?
She was cheating on me, so it's a normal thing for me to cheat.
Oh, you were cheating because she was cheating?
Yeah.
Okay, so if she hadn't cheated on you, you would never cheat on her.
When you don't approach me with certain things, right, you go to somebody else for, companionship, for other things, I feel to be cheating.
Okay.
Right? Everything should be up to me. If you go to somebody for even a coin, a 1 cedi coin, you're cheating on me. Actually, if I don't have, you can go ahead and actually me. But if you go to somebody else for something else, they come to me and be like, you love me, you don't love me.
Okay, so now you don't cheat anymore. Why did you stop?
Why did I stop? It was not helping me. I became a born-again Christian.
Oh, okay. Well, we are glad that you stopped cheating. Thank you very much for your contribution this morning, Nana. So we've heard it. He used to cheat because his girlfriend was cheating. So that was the only reason why he was cheating. So is he trying to say that if his girlfriend hadn't cheated on him, he wouldn't have cheated on her?
You see, that's the mistake that he did. Because seriously, people's wrong shouldn't change our rights.
But if your girlfriend was cheating, why didn't you just leave her? Why did you have to cheat on her? Was there a competition?
Where is the standard then? If your girlfriend is cheating, then I would say that your girlfriend is as low as this and you are as high as that.
Right.
How can you raise your girlfriend up if you also stoop low and begin to cheat?
So you think he should have left her?
He should have stood tall.
Oh, sometimes you see,
to be able to bring her up, to be able to cause her to come up to her level, at least to realize that, what she's in doing there is just childish and it's just a belittling self-image.
Sometimes you just have to forget. You have a girlfriend who wants to cheat. Okay, if you don't want to leave her, she can do her own. She can do hers. You do yours. It's not.
Okay, let's take our last phone call. Good morning, Venice. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Venice. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you too?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, please. When you're talking, making us believe like cheating is bad. Yes, it's very bad. But cheating only occurs when the other party or the other partner is sleeping with the other person. That is when the person is cheating. If the person is having a friend outside the relationship, it's normal. But if that relationship goes beyond friendship and he starts doing or she starts doing the things she has been doing with a lover or wife to the other lady, that's when they are cheating.
I think that's exactly the way we are looking at it. When it goes past
the guys, when you even go for a coin from somebody.
Okay, she's talking, referring to the, I think, was it Nana who called earlier? Okay. So what do you guys make of that? If you go for something from somebody?
I want to say that one thing leads to the other. So if you tell me that maybe you want to wait till the very last minute when the two people are sleeping together before you call it cheating, I beg to differ, because when you just flirt, because people flirt on phone, flirtation on phone
is that bad?
It's bad. If you are
when you're in a relationship, you shouldn't.
How could you be flirting with somebody else who is not your?
Some of these sayings, auntie, like two wrongs don't make a right, and one thing leads to the other. Some of them you don't even know how the person states when they made that statement. Some of these ones are from some drunk people. What I'm saying is that, you see, one thing leads to another. It's not true if you ask me. I've been taking Coca-Cola all my life. It has not led to whatever appetition. You understand? All I take is a soft drink. It has not moved to anything. You understand? So if you say one thing leads to another, you can have a friend. There's nothing wrong with a lady having a male friend, and there's nothing wrong with a guy having a female friend. It's beautiful. If your friends are, if you're a guy and you have a female friend and you don't have no ulterior motive, and all you do is to have a very nice, beautiful relationship with a person, and it's the same with ladies. But if you say because your partner has this female friend that he or she talks to, spends time with, and so it's cheating, Abba.
No, that's not what it is.
Now, before we went to the last caller, you were telling us how you dealt with yes. Can you just tell us briefly before we wrap up how?
I think it all came down to what the relationship was about. We weren't just we didn't think we were just dating. We were doing it to get to a point.
So does it matter what stage you are at in the relationship?
I think it really
because sometimes you've been together for so long that certain things you can overcome certain things. And maybe sometimes you haven't been together for that long, so you just think, well, I can
signs.
Yeah, I can move on and.
I think it depends on what the relationship is based on. The values the relationship is based on. If I just met you and I started sleeping with you even before I knew your home, I mean, you wouldn't really hold any strong connections or values.
I think if we start going down this path, we'll have to. Exactly, we won't end. So just briefly tell us how anyone who's been cheated on, how we can quickly, get over it. Because you did it. Are you still with the person first of all?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you do it? How did you get here?
The biggest thing is forgiveness. I forgave. That's what I did. I forgave.
But was it difficult? Sometimes you just can't. You're just
it's not easy. I wasn't smiling and saying I have forgiven you. No, I cried. I got angry. But I forgave in the end.
Did it help that he was sorry as well?
Oh yes, and we became even stronger after that, because then we even pointed on our... Well, then I haven't seen him cheating.
Yeah. All right, so please, let me just take your last words on this issue. Is it okay?
It's not okay to cheat. It's okay to, when you find your spouse or your friend, you are not yet married, but you find your friend cheating on you, I think that you just have to sit down with the person, go into the issues, find out, just like Venice did, find out the issues and try and help each other. I mean, that is what makes God smile on us, and help each other to come up. At least let everybody get to that moral standards. That will help you build a very good family a very nice marriage, and then the whole world will be a nice place. So
don't necessarily up and leave. Just talk about it. If you think you can,
unless of course the person is just promiscuous, he has no sense of remorse. Then
okay, A+. Give us your last words, please.
I think that a woman must not cheat in a relationship.
But a man
just a man must not be caught. You must show your partner some respect. Make sure you are not caught. But a woman must not do it, especially from the part of the world that we are. A man, once you are not caught, nothing has happened. Make sure you are not caught. But a woman must not do it. And if you are caught, you have a huge problem. We say in the boy not doing it. So there's nothing she could do about it.
Okay, one last question before my producers come and physically drag us off the set. Does it mean that you don't love your partner when you cheat on them?
No,
doesn't necessarily mean can you love them to bits but still just stray?
Love has nothing to do with going to do one shake with somebody.
So you can love your partner and still
can love. Even if you are cheating, you can still love the person. Maybe something just made you to stray away. You just have to come back to your senses and then just amend issues and then just keep yourself on your right course.
If somebody cheats with you, it doesn't mean he doesn't love his wife, especially because of the way you look at
okay, then on that note, this has been our lifestyle segment, and it's been very interesting. I wish we could go on and on and on, but we've run out of time. Many thanks to our guest this morning, Auntie Gloria Jeha, a relationship expert and a counselor, A+, who had very interesting views on the subject, and Bernice Entry. Thank you guys very, very much for coming.